My Lady Inquisitor, it's good of you to speak with me. I have news regarding one of your companions, the Tevene.
Is that a note of distaste I detect, Mother Giselle?
Called out.
I admit his presence here makes me uncomfortable, Inquisitor, but my feelings are of no importance. I have been in contact with his family. House Pravas out of Carenas. Are you familiar with them?
So you're writing to his good family.
He's mentioned his family. They don't appear to be on good terms.
Yes. I believe you're correct. The family sent a letter describing the estrangement from their son and pleading for my aid. They've asked to arrange a meeting quietly without telling him. They fear it's the only way he'll come. Since you seem to be on good terms with the young man, I'd hoped...
I'm not gonna trick him.
Yeah.
What kind of meeting is this?
Just what kind of meeting do they have in mind?
I believe they just want to talk, to understand why Dorian felt he had to come here. Somewhere private, away from Skyhold, but not in Tevene. You make them nervous, I think. They don't understand why he's here with the Inquisition. They want him to come home.
Okay, except that they treat him like shit, so I wonder why he left.
Why doesn't he want to come back?
They know.
They know.
What happens if Dorian doesn't agree?
Hopefully that will be the end of it. If not, well, that's why you should be there.
Why would his family contact you?
Because they don't know you, Inquisitor. I am not of the Imperial Chantry, but they know what I represent. These are parents concerned about the welfare of their son. How could I not do whatever possible? I would speak to the young man myself, but he does not care for me. Thus I come to you. If any good can come of this, we must try.
They don't want Dorian to know. That seems odd.
They believe the young man would refuse, and the letter implies he'd have cause. Yet, they are remorseful for whatever came before. This is a chance for dialogue. There is deceit in bringing the young man to this meeting without his foreknowledge, I know. But does it not lead to a greater kindness if there is potential for reconciliation?
Is this legitimate?
Yeah.
Are you sure this isn't some kind of trap? I mean, the secrecy...
That did occur to me. What if it is a plot of those mages, the Venatori? Another reason to put this in your hands, Inquisitor. I pray that isn't the case. But if it is, you are far better equipped than I to respond to such treachery.
I was thinking more like a plot from his parents.
Yeah. I'm not gonna trick him. Whatever.
If you think I'm going to trick Dorian into meeting his family...
I feared you might say that. The family will send a retainer to meet the young man at the Redcliffe tavern, to take him onward. If he truly does not wish this reunion, he can always end the matter there. I pray you change your mind, Inquisitor. Perhaps their letter will persuade you. If there is any chance of success in this, it behooves us to act.
Whatever. Understand that you feel inadequate to the task of bringing Dorian to a secret meeting. Even in the asking, I find it difficult to believe myself. Considering my son has rebuffed all contact, this is the only way. I know him. He would be too proud to come if he knew, even just to talk. Or maybe I'm a weird asshole and he's afraid of me. That is all we wish to do. The thought of Dorian in the south placing himself in the path of such danger alarms us more than I can express.
I really don't think that
I treat him as property rather than as a human. If this somehow succeeds, we have a family retainer at the Vandrel Hills watching for Dorian's arrival. He will bring the boy to us somewhere private. Okay, well, he's not a boy, he's a man. If Dorian utterly refuses to go with him, it ends there, and there's nothing we can do. We are at our wits' end. Graciously yours, Magister Halward of House Pavus. Well, sorry, guy. I don't exactly trust you.
Yeah, mister, I don't recognize that you're gay, and I'm going to continually try to marry you to a woman.
Over and over and over again.
And tell you how much of a disappointment you are. Like, fuck that.
The place is deserted. Is this normal, or...?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I thought
no.
this was a party.
Dorian,
Father? You knew about this? Is that why you brought me here?
I'm sorry.
I like drama.
Oh,
No.
no.
I was deceived.
I wasn't expecting your father here.
I apologize for the deception, Inquisitor. I never intended for you to be involved.
Of course not. Magister Parvus couldn't come to Skyhold and be seen with the dread Inquisitor.
I don't want to.
What would people think?
I don't want to.
We have to go tell him first?
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Dorian, I got his letter!
Have a thing for strapping young Templars, I see.
What's this about?
Oh, nothing. Just something I find rather adorable about you.
Thank you.
Anyway, here's your
Dorian.
father's letter.
There's a letter you need to see.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter? A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
Not quite. It's from your father.
From my father. I see. And what does Magister Halward want, pray tell?
A meeting.
Show me this letter. I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical. I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevene.
I won't let him.
I won't.
That would be hard to do while I stood there.
He expects me to travel with Mother Giselle, although Maker knows why he'd think I would. Let's go. Let's meet this so-called family retainer. If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that. If it's not, I send the man back to my father with a message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
Yep, let's
This
go.
is the best. Let's do it.
No, what's the issue?
Oh my god.
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. But you're correct. They don't care for my choices, nor I for theirs.
Because you wouldn't get married? Because you left?
That too.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's go meet this retainer then.
I wonder how much my father paid this man to wait around just in case I showed. We'll find out soon enough. Uh-oh, nobody's here. This doesn't bode well.
Dorian,
Father. So the whole story about the family retainer was just, what? A smokescreen?
then you were told. I apologize for the deception, Inquisitor. I never intended for you to be involved.
Well, okay.
Of course not. Magister Parvus couldn't come to Skyhold and be seen with the dread Inquisitor. What would people think? What is this exactly, Father? Ambush? Kidnapping? Warm family reunion?
This is how it has always been.
He has the right to be angry.
Considering you lied to get him here, Dorian has every right to be furious.
You don't know the half of it. But maybe you should.
Dorian, there's no need to.
I prefer the company of men. My father disapproves.
Why is this an issue?
Yeah.
That's a big concern in Tevene then.
Only if you're trying to live up to an impossible standard. Every Tevene family is intermarrying to distill the perfect mage, perfect body, perfect mind, the perfect leader. It means every perceived flaw, every aberration is deviant and shameful. It must be hidden.
Yeah, that's right. You're a douche.
So that's what all of this is about? Who you sleep with?
That's not all it's about.
Dorian, please. If you'll only listen to me.
Why? So you can spout more convenient lies? He taught me to hate blood magic. The resort of the weak mind. Those are his words. But what was the first thing you did when your precious heir refused to play pretend for the rest of his life? You tried to change me.
I only wanted what was best for you.
You wanted the best for you! For your fucking legacy. Anything for that.
It's really fucked up. Should we ask, are we done? Or...
I hope we're done here.
We are.
Oops.
Shit. Alright. We'll never know. Want to reload and see what happens? Because that's what I did last time.
Yeah.
He's a good man, my father. Deep down. He taught me principle is important. He cares for me in his way, but he won't ever change. I can't forgive him for what he did. I won't.
Are you all right?
No, not really. Thank you for bringing me out there. Even if it didn't work out. Maker knows what you must think of me now, after that whole display.
What a horrible thing to say!
I don't understand.
Because
Like,
we flirted with him, he flirted back, but whatever. You're brave.
Yeah.
I think you're very brave.
Brave?
It's not easy to abandon tradition and walk your own path.
At any rate, time to drink myself into a stupor. It's been that sort of day. Join me sometime, if you've a mind.
So I suppose that would be like if we didn't already know. Gotcha.
I don't know what you think you're doing.
I'm being clacked at by a hen, evidently.
Alright, so let's reload and see what happens.
Uh-oh, nobody's here. This doesn't bode well.
Dorian.
Father. So the whole story about the family retainer was just, what? A smokescreen?
Then you were told. I apologize for the deception, Inquisitor. I never intended for you to be involved.
Well, I'm here now.
Of course not. Magister Parvis couldn't come to Skyhold and be seen with the dread Inquisitor. What would people think? What is this exactly, Father? Ambush? Kidnapping? Warm family reunion?
This is how it has always been.
Well, that's your fault, so...
Considering you lied to get him here, Dorian has every right to be furious.
You don't know the half of it. But maybe you should.
Dorian, there's no need to.
I prefer the company of men. My father disapproves.
That's a big concern in Tevene then.
Only if you're trying to live up to an impossible standard. Every Tevene family is intermarrying to distill the perfect mage, perfect body, perfect mind, the perfect leader. It means every perceived flaw, every aberration is deviant and shameful. It must be hidden.
Asshole. So that's what this is about?
So that's what all of this is about? Who you sleep with?
That's not all it's about.
Dorian, please. If you'll only listen to me.
Why? So you can spout more convenient lies? He taught me to hate blood magic. The resort of the weak mind. Those are his words. But what was the first thing you did when your precious heir refused to play pretend for the rest of his life? You tried to change me.
I only wanted what was best for you.
You wanted the best for you. For your fucking legacy. Anything for that.
It's horrible.
I just really want this to end up being like his dad came here to apologize or something. Don't leave it like this.
Don't leave it like this, Dorian. You'll never forgive yourself.
Tell me why you came.
If I knew, I would drive you to the Inquisition.
You didn't. I joined the Inquisition because it's the right thing to do. Once, I had a father who would have known that.
Once, I had a son who trusted me. A trust I betrayed. I only wanted to talk to him, to hear his voice again, to ask him to forgive me.
I'm kind of wary, though.
Yeah.
Oh, don't leave him in there. I mean, I don't know. A little worried.
He says we're alike. Too much pride. Once I would have been overjoyed to hear him say that. Now I'm not certain. I don't know if I can forgive him.
I don't know if it has anything to do with his, like, Dorian's pride, though. Like, too much pride to forgive his father for trying to use blood magic to change his sexuality.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I don't think that's
a
how
little
that
beyond
works.
pride.
Yeah.
Are you all right?
No, not really. Thank you for bringing me out there. It wasn't what I expected, but it's something. Maker knows what you must think of me now, after that whole display.
You're brave.
Fuck. Who the fuck says that?
I know, seriously.
I think you're very brave.
Brave?
It's not easy to abandon tradition and walk your own path.
At any rate, time to drink myself into a stupor. It's been that sort of day. Join me sometime, if you've a mind.
I don't know what you think you're doing.
I'm being clucked at by a hen, evidently.
Get out of here, Giselle.
Let's get blasted.
Oh,
Oh, you're here.
What's going on here?
It seems the revered mother is concerned about my undue influence over you.
it is just concern. Your worship, you must know how this looks.
What looks?
You might need to spell it out, my dear.
This man is of Tevene. His presence at your side, the rumors alone.
What's wrong with him being from Tevene, specifically?
I'm fully aware that not everyone from the Imperium is the same.
How kind of you to notice. Yet still you bow to the opinion of the masses.
The opinion of the masses is based on centuries of evidence. What would you have me tell them?
The truth?
The truth is I do not know you, and neither do they. Thus, these rumors will continue.
Tell me about these rumors.
Yeah, what are they saying?
Oh. I'd like to hear what these rumors are exactly.
I could not repeat them, your worship.
Repeat them. So you've shared them before.
Oh.
See, I meant no disrespect, Inquisitor. Only to ask after this man's intentions. If you feel he is without ulterior motive, then I humbly beg forgiveness of you both.
Yes, I do.
Well, that's something.
Wow, okay.
This sort of thing happens often, does it?
More than anyone tells you. No one knows their own reputation.
Until someone helpfully informs them.
There is that. She meant well, if that's of any concern. I should ask, do the rumors bother you?
Only on your behalf.
I wish they wouldn't disparage you. They don't know you.
Wait, what
They
are the
know
rumors?
you even less than they know me. Perhaps it's odd to say, but I think of you as a friend, Inquisitor. I have precious few friends. I didn't think to find one here. Don't speak. I detest confessions, and I'd like to get this over with. Allow me to say I'll stand beside you, against Corypheus, my countryman, or spurious rumor, so long as you'll have me.
Are we in love or what? What's happening?
I know, right? This seems amazing. This is like, I love you in a friend way, but I still love you so much. And you're like, really?
Really?
Did you hear us get, like, breathless? We were like, Oh.
Wait a second, did we just do a quest about how you're gay?
I'm sorry,
I'm
did
confused.
we just, like, eye fuck each other, or what's happening?
I thought we just, like, had a really long thing about how gay you are, but now you're, like, hitting on me?
Here we are again.
Okay, bye.
I should go.
Try not to kill anyone without me.
So the whole, like, people not accepting your sexuality thing is pretty bullshit. 'Cause it's like, I remember when I came out to my parents as bisexual, I do not know why exactly I felt that would be necessary.
Because it's okay.
I mean, because I had a girlfriend, and I guess I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you had a girlfriend, it seems imperative to tell your parents.
I don't know. I mean, we hid it from her parents because they were just not cool with any of that. Her mother was a politician, and so it was just not a cool thing. But, like, my parents don't accept that bisexuality is an actual sexuality. They think it's just, like, people who can't make up their mind. And they specifically told me, they were like, don't say that because it's a phase and you'll grow out of it and it's not normal. And I was like, sweet. And so then I just, like, felt really confused about it for a while. And, like, whenever people would say, you know, because there's some people that say, like, oh, that's just a thing that girls do for attention. It's like, I was like, well, maybe they're right. Maybe that, and then, like, I got older and I was like, no, fuck you.
I'm very confident in what I've been doing to this badge. Thank you.
It's like, I definitely am attracted to both genders, and I don't think that's, like, a strange thing. I really don't.
You can't just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna totally, like...
I'm not indecisive. It's just, like, I'm attracted to both, and I don't see it as an issue. It's not like I feel confused about it or conflicted.
The only thing, everybody else had a problem, not you.
Yeah.
There are going to be times when everyone else really is wrong, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be all the time, but if you ever feel like you really feel something and everyone else is saying no, 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 maybe you're the one who's right and they're the ones who are wrong.
It's true.
Hey everyone, this is Mari, and I'm here with my friend
Albert.
And I had just shown him the Dorian storyline, including the gay romance, and he was very touched by the fact that a video game could be so realistic in the issues of what his life was like.
Not just realistic, but how present the video game is. I don't play video games at all, and this was kind of a first interaction to this realm. And to see such a current issue displayed in contexts that are not just relatable, but are accurate.
I remember you were in tears during the part where Dorian confronts his father.
Yeah, I was in tears because something that is very intimate to most homosexuals that have come out in their own lives, that's something that you keep to yourself or in that small knit community. And to see that this is something that is exposed with such accuracy and intimacy to the rest of the world of those that can or cannot relate to, but nonetheless it's still a product that is profitable by showing true context it's a lot to take in, and it's incredible. It shows a progressive movement that is live. Like, you're seeing the world transforming in front of our eyes right now. It's incredible.
How did you feel when, like, you saw that a game was representing your life experience so well?
I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it in my lifetime, actually, to see something that's so well depicted, and that could be tolerated by a lot of people that usually don't tolerate you for who you are. The thing that fascinated me the most is that you take a present day issue,
yeah,
and you depict it at how it really is. The conversations, the emotions between the characters. You feel the uncomfortable, you feel the taboo, you feel what's at stake. And
like when you heard Dorian talking about what he wanted without really saying it, did you feel...
Oh yeah, the code. Like there's not a freedom to be blunt. And it's almost a pas de deux. And you play this dance. And you play the dance until the cards unfold themselves. But to see it played amongst characters that are not just yourself or people of your kind, and to know that they also can interpret that and they can relate to or sympathize or empathize, most importantly, is it's very impactful, because that's showing that we are changing as a populace. Just the fact that even if people don't agree with it, but the fact that you can take a company that's for profit and you have stakeholders to uphold to, and you also have an audience that you need to uphold to, and to be able to pass a story that is so relevant and so current, it's fascinating to see that they captured it so well. And I'm kind of at a loss of words right now at how the accuracy.
Because I had shown you this video just on a passing whim.
On a whim, yeah, we were not.
And I didn't realize like how deeply this would relate to you, the way the things that Dorian and the Inquisitor were talking and how they were interacting, and then I showed you the scene between Dorian and his father, and you felt like that was really well done.
Well, I think there's a lot of people that can relate to that scenario, and I think there's even more people that cannot relate to or cannot feel comfortable enough to interpret the situation, and to know that that's being pushed as, and not just as a story or as a premise of a game, but
just
this
as it
issue.
exists.
It's a social issue that's so present that this is history in the making. And I think this is one of the cornerstones to change that I have experienced in my coming out, in a way that I am completely unrelated to. I'm unbiased to this. I have no relation. And to witness something that is so accurate as a bystander is shocking. And it's incredible, because I can only imagine the audience will take this in many different ways.
So when you think of gamers, you don't think of them as mostly a diverse group. So you're glad that like lots of different people are being exposed to this experience of life.
Yeah.
So.
And that's exactly what it is. It takes exposure to understand and then later empathize. And to see this on such a grand scale and on such a risky scale.
Yeah.
When millions of dollars are at stake for the development of a game. So you have you have executive heads that are approving this and greenlighting this. I think it's indicative of a social movement, and one that is acutely accurate to this exact moment in time. And if anything, I just feel that I am very fortunate to be privy in this era, as we all are, anyone that's playing these games. Like, this is history literally in the making. 5 years ago, you would never see this. And when I came out 7 years ago, I never in my wildest dreams would imagine seeing something like this in a video game.
Like a mainstream game with like a fully like a whole
intricate
story.
story, but something that's very accurate. It's not fabricated. The nuances are very specific, and I think that makes people empathize with it more, because you see that there's so much more depth behind it than what meets the naked eye, which most people see it as, not at face value.
What was your interpretation of what like gamers in the gaming community was before and after you saw like that representation in a game?
Well, I saw most gamers as a world of fantasy and an outlet for themselves to communicate with each other. Mm-hmm. But I never saw it as a community that interprets, digests, and also
as an art, or
not just an art, but as a vocal. You are living this transformation, and as a gay person that has experienced this, I have my story, but now you do too. And despite your sexual orientation, you are too being forced to experience these different interactions, emotions, scenarios that are real life. And you see these, for the first time I can actually say this video game is a true synopsis of what life is. It's not black and white, and it's not just what sells, and it's not just what we want to hear. It pushes boundaries, and life is uncomfortable. Life is not what we expect. And to see that captured so intimately in a video game is something that I'm still trying to understand how this is possible. I never saw video games as a medium for cultural history. It's fascinating. It really fascinates me more than anything else.
So, how does it make you feel to see that you know that a lot of gamers who are not gay, who are going to play this game, and even though they're not going to see the Dorian romance, they're going to see that scene with Dorian meeting his father and his sexuality and everything.
They're being exposed.
And that's a good thing. Like, even if it's just the fact that they know that this type of situation exists and they're able to empathize and feel these feelings.
You see a lot of people that live in a metropolis or in populated cities, San Francisco, New York, Sydney, Spain, where they're very progressive because every day you're exposed to elements that are beyond your own realm. And to see this in a video world, which takes that beyond those limits to every household, and regardless of what city or what your family is, right now, even if you don't identify with it, you're being forced to think about it. And everyone is forming an opinion. Regardless of what that opinion is, there's that conversation, there's a thought process there's a tension being brought to this. And that's the beauty in this. It's not what the reaction has no importance.
It's just that they know it exists.
It's an exposure, and you're seeing it in such an accurate, intimate way.
See, I would never have known how accurate it is because I'm not a gay man. But, like, seeing your reaction to it, I never realized how powerful it was. You know what I mean?
It is. You see the timidness between the characters, and obviously there's a lot at stake. There are a lot of consequences that will be rendered from their actions, and the willingness to forego those consequences, to be honest to yourself, and to do something that's even bigger than yourself. It's very touching, and I felt that this game really captured it. And until this day, I probably would say I was the biggest
anti-gamer guy.
Not anti-gamer, just I didn't place any validity behind it, and I never saw it as a time capsule. You know, to see these games that have been produced or played or that are growing in this era is kind of a time capsule of social revolution and social topics that are being addressed and portrayed accurately. I feel like gaming can have a very large impact in the world, and it's something that you don't hear very often.
So can you say that your opinion on games and gamers and the whole culture is different now, and that you're more open to experiencing what a game is?
I can say that my opinion on the accuracy of these fantasies that are portrayed or assumed in characters are not just fantasies. You are playing out history in the making. And in fact, you're writing history by how you react to this and how you accept this and how you allow developers to even take it to the next step. And from what I'm seeing from this, it seems like developers are wanting to push the envelope to have a more realistic sense to it. And as gamers adopt to that or accept that, I can only imagine what envelopes would be pushed beyond this subject. There's so much more than just sexuality, and it's interesting to see how this can have a socialistic impact on anyone involved beyond just gamers. And it's just bringing awareness that through a modality that you would never really accept to be a accurate form of exposure. I'm blown away. It was so accurate. Obviously, it brought me to tears. You saw that, which is embarrassing, but it was very genuine, and to see the interaction and a relationship between characters, and how much thought and how much effort is put in to be accurate with this it just blows my mind. I didn't expect this. And even if you agree or disagree with what's going on, you're being exposed to something that's accurate in a complete different form than what's real life. And I think that's usually the argument against gamers, is that you live life and then you have gamers that live a fantasy. And to see a fantasy that is so accurate and that portrays things as it is in present day, not 5 years ago, not 10 years ago, but to be live in the moment, I don't have words for it. I'm kind of taken aback by this is a social movement in itself.
So you feel good that so many gamers who were not exposed to the type of stories that a lot of people live are now exposed to that kind of experience?
Certainly, it brings awareness. There's so many of us that are not exposed to different ways of ideologies or thoughts or lifestyles.
And is exposure just the first step to understanding?
It certainly is the first way to unravel the many different modalities of life and the quandaries that we deal with as well as people. And I never in a million years thought that gaming would be a modality to bring that to the forefront of our social issues.
It was really beautiful. It was really, really well spoken. I think you did a really good job of making other people understand where you're coming from. So, everyone, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to what we had to say. Thank you.